Hey guys, new video here. In this video, we're going to answer the two age-old questions that get brought up every single league. Is my league starter going to be good in 3.21? And are traps gay? But don't worry, YouTube viewer, because I'm going to answer all those questions and more in the next few minutes, and I'll show you the most OP nodes, and you can see if your builds can use them. Someone asked me why I put so many jump cuts in my videos. It's because without them, the videos would be like 30 minutes long, and nobody got time for that. Where do we even begin? Today on stream, we spent a few hours reading every single node that could possibly spawn on your Crucible weapons and shield and helmet. Look at all these nodes. It's too many. You're not going to read thousands of lines of text, right? So I have done it for you. I'll quickly show the Bex tweet because she does confirm that some of these might be changed before release. Just keep that in mind. After reading all of it, there is some good news and there's some bad news. And what would you guys like to hear first? The bad news? Okay. The bad news is that we quickly realized that some skills got hit with some pretty imbalanced nodes. They are a bit too good, a bit too free, so to speak, and some skills don't even have a single passive point, or the nodes that they do receive don't impact your build that much. Wait, Control F Corrupting Fever. What? Now, you might ask, why is it bad if some skills have great nodes? Well, I'm going to pretend like you asked me that. Imagine there is an item, a mechanic, or a feature that is super hype and OP and desirable. Now, let me give you two scenarios. In the first scenario, that item gets rebalanced before the league launch. Or even worse, it gets shadow nerfed into oblivion or even removed sometimes when the league goes live. As an example of this, like the trinket from Heist or the plus totems on shields. In the second scenario, the items are rebalanced through their drop rates or their rarity so that they're much more rare and chase, but you can still deterministically get them because you could see yourself farming enough currency, then you go to the trade site and then you buy the item and you can still acquire it in its full juicy chase form. Now, obviously, the second option would probably be viewed as better for the game and more exciting. It would kill the hype much less, but usually grinding your games takes the first approach, and we'll have to see what happens as the league goes live. Now for the good news. The good news is that there's no more bad news. Just kidding. The good news is no matter how your chosen skill turned out in the skill specific nodes, the generic nodes that can be found on most weapons are just flat out insane. When I'm going through some of these examples, if you ever see like a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, or tier 5 next to the text of the item, all that means is that that is the column in which it can spawn. If it has multiple columns, we don't know what that means yet. Maybe it's a combination thing. Maybe it can show up twice on those columns. We don't know. We'll have to find out. I've created this nice little handy dandy paint workshop thing so you can identify. If you're more visual learner, you can kind of see it right here. Each column you can only pick one point, and that point is allocated from this PoEDB website. I will just go through some of the things I think are really cool for specific skills. If you're going to play Glacial Cascade, you get a free 7-link Ice Nova because the weapon tree will apply all of the support gems in your weapon. The Glacial Cascade one reads like Ice Nova casts on the last part of the Glacial Cascade. So you get a free fully leveled Ice Nova that could be linked with 6 other support gems in your weapon if it's a two-hander, and it's on every cast. 3 more damage. And Glacial Cascade is not a bad skill or anything. Extra boss damage and extra clear. Sign me right up. The next one is all damage from lightning arrow and ice shot hits can ignite. I talked about this in my last video. Anything that gives you a free effect is insane because also there's a chance for that ignite damage to do more damage. So just imagine you get all the benefits of having a fire build without actually having to go with the fire build. Shield charge and chain hook. So the numbers got revealed. It's 2% per 10 rampage kills. You're not always going to have 1,000, but if you do have 1,000 rampage stacks, that equates to 200% increased shield charge and chain hook attack speed. 200% just for having rampage. And later on, I'll show you a rampage node on the normal nodes that just gives you rampage for free. There's no belt swapping, there's no glove swapping, there's no weird stuff you have to do to get the rampage. You just have it automatically. If you're playing Blade Flurry, kind of the same thing as the Glacial Cascade that triggered an Ice Nova at the end of it. Blade Flurry, you just get a free 6-link while you're channeling the Blade Flurry. So that could be kind of insane. If you're playing Blast Rain or Artillery Ballista, you get free poisons on everything. Everything gets poisoned. Just free dot damage on your build. Insane. I know a lot of you guys are going Impending Doom because there's basically no nerfs to it, and it's a very good build. Impending Doom gets free Overleech. I think it's like 10 or 20% depending on if you have a 1 or a 2-hander. Free 20% Overleech. Okay then. And honorable mention, Whale, Volcanic Fissure, and Molten Strike, they have 80% reduced soul gain prevention. So what that means is if you have like a 3-second soul gain prevention, it might go down to like, I think it's like 1.8 seconds. You can actually freely use the whale skill, maybe even more than your normal skill to clear it. It could be insane because there is a duration to when the projectiles bounce outwards, and in that time that's bouncing outwards or in the same place you have slower projectiles, you could actually recharge the souls needed. And when playing Mana Bond, you basically always freeze the enemies on the first hit, and then you can use that weird hat, I think it's called Heat Shake or something, to always double your damage. One of the more questionable but also cool nodes is Galvanic Arrow and Storm Rain repeat an additional time when used by a mine. I don't think anybody wants to use mines when using also bow skills, but if you were to, it repeats an additional time. If you choose to do that, you get, I guess, double damage for free. I think that's kind of crazy. We might see something work out with that, maybe a boss kill or something, but for mapping, I feel like it might be too clunky. And then there's a lot of trash ones. There are a whole lot of trash ones. There's things where EK drops an additional lingering blade on the ground. There's things where elemental hit. You can't even ignite, chill, freeze, or shock anymore, but you do get scorched, brittle, and sapped. And then there's all these niche ones where I don't really see a use for them. For example, there's recover 2% on energy shield per steel shard consumed. What? Okay. Let's go over some of the generic nodes from T1 to Tier 5. You can get free charges of any kind you want, just maximum charges, minimum charges, whatever you want. There's crazy interactions with Badge of the Brotherhood because you can like increase your maximum power charges by 2, and since you're subtracting 2 frenzy charges to gain that, it doesn't matter because the Badge of Brotherhood says that your frenzy charge maximum is equal to your power charge. You get free maximum res. You can think of weird stuff to do with like the skill tree and with melding. You get more damage everywhere. Any type of damage you can imagine you can add to your skills. A crazy amount of plus level of gems on a Tier 1 node, so it will only take very little XP to get that benefit on your weapon. More cast speed modifiers. Yes, you read it right. More. Unfortunately, no more attack speed modifiers, but a lot of more cast speed. There's dot multipliers up the ass. Movement speed. You can get all kinds of movement speed from all kinds of sources. The most OP stat in any ARPG. This one just says Rampage. It just says Rampage. You just have it. You don't need to do anything for it. It's always activated. Holy shit. Base crit, you have a free Hatred Watcher's Eye, but you can still get another Hatred Watcher's Eye. There's Insanity with the Aura effect. You can get all kinds of Aura effect. Imagine pairing this with like Sublime Visions. There's all kinds of support gems that you can link. Pretty much, I think almost every support gem in the game is in the pool, and you can have like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 linked depending on how many support gems are already crafted on your weapon. This might be a crazy Squire League. Projectile speed, I saw 150% increased Spectral Helix and Spectral Throw projectile speed. Attribute stacking of all kinds. There's increased effective curses. There's memes with like 200% more AoE for 1 fireball. Items sell for 3 divines, but there's another tier above that that says items sell for double. So that's 6 divines. And then when you get that, you beast split it. You can do that 1 time and it's 12 divines. It's just crazy. Thank you for watching my video. If you made it this far, you probably forgot to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Go do it right now. Also, in the description, you'll find my Twitch link, my Twitter, and Discord. You can hang out with me there. I might be streaming right now. Who knows? I might be live right now.